Hello, everyone, and welcome to Just Put Paint on It. Paint on It.
Whoa, I thought that this was a family-friendly show.
Just put paint on them?
I don't know. I'm Skari, your grateful host.
Just call it performance art,
This
then
is-
they can't censor you.
This is the every Thursday and Friday hobby show with me, Skari, your grateful host, wonderful co-host Tanya Gates, and even more amazing guests today. Dan, the Lonely Havoc, a veritable Warhammer hero. Do you have your medal?
That's
so
right.
We can show it off. Can we show off?
I
your
do
medal
have my
today?
medal. It's over there. I can get it here
okay,
when we
cool.
get.
We're gonna
when we
show
get
off,
going.
and we're gonna tell all of you how to be a Warhammer hero as well.
Contrary to popular belief, I don't just wear it all the time.
I would.
I would.
It gets cold.
You just like in the grocery store, be like, "Hey, you know what this is?" And they'd be like, "No."
It gets cold on your chests.
I have a couple of Scout of the Year, like Boy Scout of the Year award, like Scout of the Year award,
nice.
like medals.
Okay.
I got 2 years in a row. That's right. I have 2 of them.
Nice.
And those are cool. And yeah, that's right. I was almost an Eagle Scout. Anyway, this is we do this 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. We hang out for about an hour and a half, and we chat, and we hobby, and we ask questions, and we interact with chat. So I hope all of you out there just sit down, enjoy the show, and all that good stuff, because it's awesome. I'm working on some more Coven stuff today. I'm just working on these grotesques. That's it. That's all I'm doing. Yeah, so Tanya, why don't you tell people a little about who you are, where they can find you, and what are you working on today?
Well, I'm still working on Noblars, but I can like see the end is near. I'm almost done. I should be done this weekend.
Nice.
But I am a wargamer, and you can find me. I do daily updates to Instagram. I co-host Forge the Narrative podcast. You can find me. Sometimes I make tweets. And I also have a YouTube channel, and my video that came out this week is doing surprisingly well, and I don't know why. So
it's a good video. You have like AOS Coach on there, and you're like chatting about.
Yeah, I think he carried the whole thing. I think.
But it's you're doing cool stuff with cool people. That's how this works. Cool stuff with cool people.
I know. It's just
sometimes
like
you make tweets.
Sometimes I make tweets. Sometimes I make the tweets.
Imagine if they had another social media platform called Toot. You know?
I would join immediately.
I'd be on Toot.
I'd be on Toot as well.
I'd toot it up.
Yeah.
Ow!
So everybody has an opinion, like everybody toots.
Everybody toots. Dan paints aggressively at metal. You know who I am? Oh yeah. No, I always paint aggressively.
You'll point aggressively at your metal. Do you know who I am?
Point. Oh gosh, I can't read.
I'm a Warhammer hero.
I can't read at all. I'm getting like my
Hey, but
eyes
you just graduated.
My eyes are getting worse. Yeah, but that doesn't mean my eyes are getting any better.
Congratulations on that, by the way. Since the last time we had you on the show, you have definitely graduated. How does it feel to be important?
Finish that degree. It's nice. I really just checking the boxes to like get a nice job and all that kind of stuff. I like learning. I really do. I took a lot of classes that I didn't need to because I just was like, that sounds interesting. Let me take that.
It was your birthday recently too, right?
My birthday's next month.
Oh, it's next month. Oh, no, it was your birthday. You had like a sobriety anniversary.
Oh,
right?
yeah. 12 years sober. Yeah.
Congratulations. That's
my sober birthday.
That's fantastic.
Thank you.
Awesome. Lots
of
hard work
stuff
goes
happening. A lot of after a while you just go on autopilot and it's fine. Like I don't have to white knuckle through like I used to back in the day. But yeah. Thank you. Much appreciated.
Yeah, no worries. Okay, so why don't you tell everybody at home watching, who is Dan, the Lonely Havoc? And
why do we love him so much?
And why do we love him? And why are you my favorite Mexican brother from another mother?
Nice. Let's get into some existentialism. Who is Dan? My name is Dan. My online handle is The Lonely Havoc. That started a long time ago. Maybe I'll tell you that story of how that name came about. But I'm just a guy on the internet that plays Warhammer, and I like to get other people to try to play Warhammer. Very excited about the game. Very excited about painting. I used to do a podcast called the Havoc Cast, which I haven't done in a while. I would love to get back to it, but I don't have a lot of time. But there are 50 episodes of the Havoc Cast out there if you go search on your favorite place to get podcasts. And I also do a Twitch stream called the Heroes Brush Hour, where my friend and fellow Warhammer hero Andrew Dart, him and I speed paint minis against each other while doing crazy challenges from the viewers that watch, and it's really funny. I think it's funny.
It's great.
I think
It's
it's
a
lot of
great
fun.
time. Yeah.
We had Fit Hammer on last night, and that was a lot of fun. I started writing a bunch of Fit Hammer erotic fan fiction on stream, so there were some good ones that I came up with. I think he liked it.
That's fantastic.
He seems so wholesome.
He's a very nice guy. Yeah, he's very very wholesome.
So if at any
Aw.
point in the stream, by the way, I cringe or yell or scream, it's because it is very hot outside and I'm wearing shorts. And we have two
Cool.
brand new kittens in the house, and they're living in this
Oh, they're
room right
getting ya.
now. And my legs have become climbing and clawing posts while I'm on stream, and it's like they know I can't do anything about it when I'm painting
kittens will do
because
that. Yeah.
now I have claw marks all up my legs. Anyway, what are you working on today, Dan?
So I'm doing like an Eldar army right now, like because I had an Eldar army way back in the day, like in 5th and 6th, and then I sold all of it, and the only thing I kept was a giant pink Wraith Knight, and I kept thinking maybe I need to build an army to go with that Wraith Knight because he seems lonely. So I'm doing a Wraith army, but then someone gave me this guy, the Avatar.
Yeah.
So I am also working on the Avatar. What are these guys? Wraith Lord. I got a Wraith Lord. I got to put a little bit of paint on. And I also have a, what are their wizards called? Elf wizard.
Farseers?
Farseer, yeah. I got a Farseer. I got an elf wizard I'm going to do some stuff to. So yeah, I got some things going on.
I much prefer elf wizard.
Yeah, I'm going to call him elf wizard because I just think that flows off the tongue a little bit better.
The whiz.
I agree.
I agree. Wizard.
I want to take a quick moment to acknowledge everybody in chat. Hello, Hail Hydra.
Hi,
good morning. Good morning, Nurgle Snurgle. What's going on?
Snurgle.
I almost put my paintbrush in my tea because it's very dangerously close to my paint water. Hello, Xanthiades. And hello, the misadventures of Mr. Fish. Hello, how are you? Toot,
Mr.
is that
Fish.
like a Letterkenny's fart book? Yeah, in a way.
Oh.
It is.
Toot. Yeah, toot. Send a toot. Send a toot to your friends. So if you have a water thing with a lid on it, that stops you from putting your paintbrush in there. So that's kind of a little pro tip.
Pro tip from professional painters. Yeah.
If you can't I'm not that. Not a pro. Play one on TV.
Yeah, you gotta you. Well, we try. We pretend. We fake it till we make it. Is that how that works?
Yeah. I mean, that's actually a really real thing you can do.
Yeah.
You make.
Yeah, dress for the job you want to have, not the job you have already.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's why I'm dressed like an astronaut most of the time.
There you go. You want to be an astronaut? I love it.
When I was little, I wanted to be an astronaut.
I want to be Who didn't want to be a marine biologist when they were little? Literally, being a marine biologist was like the thing I wanted to be the most. And I feel like that was a very 90s thing, to be like an early 2000s, just to be wanting to be a marine biologist.
Yeah, it's a very noble profession.
I wanted to be a scientist, and then I realized that you had to be smart to be a scientist, so I was like, oh, okay.
For the longest time, I wanted to be a doctor, until I realized I don't like seeing blood. So
that's quite the barrier to entry.
That was definitely not going to be a thing. I was like, I can't. I can only deal with it.
I can only work on patients who have been drained of all their blood. I'm sorry. That's the only thing I can do here.
Right. 100%. Some person who has no username says, "Good morning." Can you see their username, Tanya? I can't see their username.
Nope.
Hating High Fleet Tyranids, is that the one?
Yeah.
Yeah, there is no username. What is it? Identify yourself.
Identify yourself. You have 3 seconds to comply. You have
Hello from
2
the UK.
seconds to comply.
Hello, everyone.
Hello
from wherever you're from.
That's so funny. Okay, I have a question for you that's like not really hobby related, but I'm just curious.
For who?
For you both.
Oh, okay.
Oh,
Okay.
for both of us. Ooh, I
For
I
both.
get roped into
So
this. Nice.
if money was like no issue and you could
Uh-huh.
afford all of the training and there was like no real big barriers to entry, so you didn't have to worry about like money or time or anything like that. All your bills are paid. What would you want to do for work?
University professor.
Interesting.
Is nothing a good answer? I would like to just
Yeah?
get paid and do nothing. I mean, obviously, it would be
I
like
have a really hard
hobby.
time seeing you just sitting on the couch in your
Me?
like tidy
Uh,
whities for the rest of your life doing
I
nothing.
Are
I
you
could do it,
kidding? I
baby.
could totally
I
see
could.
Dan doing that. That is
Just
like
sitting
that.
around
Oh
catching
no!
up
It went
on
into my
TV,
tea. No.
catching up on my TV watching. Yeah, good times
Forever.
forever
You
till
would
I
do it
die.
for like 3 days and then you'd
Un-
be like, I need to get out of the house.
Until I die in a couple of years. Yes.
I have become one with the couch.
Me and the couch together.
I love
This
teaching,
is it.
so it'd just be me teaching stuff about things. That's what I would do. Just teach a lot, because I would really enjoy
Teaching
that.
could be cool. I
Yeah.
thought about that, and a couple of the professors were like, "Oh, you should teach," but like, I think academics in general, like, they see so
Academically,
much
it's
as
more than just
potential.
teaching. It kind of like turned me off a little bit as I was like, ow, ow, my cute little shit, ow.
Yep, you got it. Kitten
Oh,
claws.
Kitten's like, got him.
climbed all the way up my leg. Oh, you're so cute. He's so cute. Come here, let me show you
Claude
to the
fiend.
world. No, now you get shown to the world. Here's little
Show him.
kitty. Yay, kitty. His
Aww.
name is Shadow.
Shadow.
And appropriate that he's a black cat on Friday the 13th. Mwah, 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 mwah,
Whoa.
mwah. That's
I have a
why
black cat.
that's because I'm a witch. So you better watch out. Speaking of
Same
witches.
thing happened. We got my kitten, Django Fett. He's my black
Oh,
cat,
nice.
and he, we got him when he was like super baby kitten, and he like attached himself to my wife and like would just do the same thing, like climb up her leg. But then he would also like hide and just like jump out at her and stuff. And she just
Amazing.
absolutely hated that cat. She was like, I don't know if we can keep this cat. He's driving me crazy. But eventually, of course, she fell in love with him, and he loves her. That is his mom. And I mean, he likes me okay, but like, he loves my wife.
Yeah.
He doesn't care about me that much.
It's true.
It's-
Sometimes you're like, I want you to love me, pet, and the pet's like, well, you're okay, but I
Nah,
like this other human better.
I like the other person better.
You know, it's
yeah.
like, I fed you, and I
My
treated you good.
I saved you from a life of squalor.
my dog will only cuddle me first thing in the morning. That's it, because he doesn't sleep on the bed. So when my husband gets up early, so when he gets up, then the dog takes his spot. But it makes it like really hard for me to get up in the morning because it's like this is the only time that I can actually get
Yeah.
love from this dog because he's so like he's just like a teenager, right? Like he's
Yeah.
just like I'm just gonna go do my own thing, and
Yeah.
and when he does want anything to do with you, it's like jerk fighting, and it's like, oh
Yeah.
god,
Boy stuff.
yeah, he's totally a little boy, and like he's a teenager. Like I just gave him a bath, and then like 3 days later, I'm like, how do you stink again?
Yeah.
You smell so bad. Yeah,
Good
he's
old
cute though.
teenager problems.
Yeah, it's a cute dog. You have a cute dog.
Hail Hydra
Yeah.
says no username identifies as David.
Okay.
David. Oh,
Hi,
hello.
David.
Thank you, David. Hi, David. Thanks for identifying yourself.
Yes.
You may now
good.
proceed
You
into
can stay. Yeah.
the sanctum.
You can continue to hang
Skari,
out.
would you be a history professor? Well, I did I did study an HBA and I majored in history. However, I don't know if I do. I don't know if I feel like I would love to teach, yes, history, but more like philosophy, I guess, would be like, not necessarily like deep philosophy, more like musings philosophy. Because some of that philosophy stuff was like just way out there. You know what I mean?
I
Like
took a philosophy
classical
class.
philosophy. It's like, okay, that's that's just a little bit of my pay grade. Where like you're in 4th year university, right? Like ready to like graduate and stuff, and like the term and the book you get is like a pamphlet. It's literally like your textbook, and then
Not
the
much to it.
entire year you're like breaking apart this like pamphlet. You know?
I'm into it.
Yeah. I'm like, I don't know if I could. Like, it'd be really fun, but I don't
I
know. I'd
would
probably go
want
crazy.
I would want to be a psychologist because I feel like the human brain is like the last unexplored frontier,
Shh.
and I
Not my
just
brush.
really like to help people. Like I did a round of therapy this year and
Mhm.
well, last year and this year, and it changed my life so much that I think that I would want to help other people experience that as well.
That's
Nice.
cool.
That does make sense.
I don't like helping people at all. So it's just,
That's
Luna
I'd rather
lies.
says,
I'd rather hinder people if I can.
"Well,
That's lies.
that's because he's just living up to his namesake. He likes to cause some
Right.
havoc, right? That's just how that works.
That's what I do.
That's right. You know, so you can't blame you. Don't blame the havoc. It's literally in his name.
That's lies. You
Uh,
would help people.
I
uh,
put
I've
that on
I've
t-shirt.
s- I've seen you do like teaching games and stuff.
Yeah, I do that.
You just teach them the rules all wrong.
I teach them wrong so I can beat them later on.
nice,
Then
nice.
I crush them.
That's the
I had a
long.
guy.
That's the long play
So
right there.
here's my thing with like the teaching game. Like I'm all about the teaching game. I lose the teaching game every time. I will purposely lose the game because I want my opponent to like have that like thrill, and I won't kill things if they haven't used it yet. I always give them the first turn, like figure out your stuff, let everything move, let everything shoot. And this guy at the store, he was like, a couple of new guys were, oh, I want to learn how to play, and this guy's like, oh, I'll play you. And we're trying to like steer the new guy away from playing this dude. We know how he is.
Oh,
And
every group has one of those.
so the guy sets up his army, and then like he rolls for first turn, and then he takes the first turn. The guy that knows what he's doing, and then just like shoots everything off the table that this guy had, because of course the guy didn't know how to deploy and whatever. And I walked over there, and I was like, "For real? You like didn't let him have the first turn?" He's like, "Well, we rolled for it, and it's in the rules." I'm like, "Dude, that sucks." I was like, "That sucks that you did that." And I was like, "This guy's never gonna play again." I was like, "Because you're just like shooting him off the table." I was like, "Come on." You gotta be nicer to new people and like let them play the game. Like don't just destroy them immediately. So frustrating.
Every
I don't.
group has one of those.
Right.
Mhm.
Why is
Yeah.
that? Like,
I don't
stop
know.
it.
It's like
small PP.
Small PP energy.
well, it also is a like I think it's a cultural thing from like eons past. Like traditionally in like the discourse of life, right? Like going to high school and learning your place in the society of high school or whatever is like has been glorified in that sense in a way, right? Like in
Sure.
just you know, and so being that whole like, well, you're gonna learn with the school of hard knocks or whatever. I feel like it's just a
Yeah.
very sort of like archaic. Because I remember
Oh,
that's how I learned
super.
how to
Yeah.
play the game, right? I got to play the guy that literally was the guy that just stomped all that over everybody and
Yeah.
just loved winning, right? Now, me
Right.
personally, you know, I kind of thrive under that sort of pressure, and I love sort of like the challenge of proving people wrong eventually or whatever. So for me, it worked, but some people just get really put off by it or really
Yeah.
disheartened,
No.
right?
And
I
you
think
should get put
now,
off by it. That's no
right,
fun.
and so now it's like I don't know. There's more of a discourse around understanding, like that people have feelings, if that makes sense, and that the only way a hobby grows and stuff is by like getting people involved, right? And
Yeah.
having
Yeah.
more people participate. And you don't get that by alienating the new people that want to learn
Yeah.
how to play
Just
your game.
discouraging them like right away.
Correct.
Yeah. It just drives me crazy when people do that stuff, because I spend a lot of time at my local store trying to like develop the community and trying to like make people feel welcome. And it's like if that happened to me, I'd be like, I'm not playing the game. Like these guys are dicks. This game sucks. I can't win it and whatever, because you have to learn it basically in like stages. And everyone's like just
Yeah.
throwing all these rules at you, and you're like, slow down, man. Like give them a minute to digest.
Let
Like
me
some of these
learn
guys,
how to move a unit first.
yeah,
You know what I mean?
and
Like,
a lot of
yeah.
these guys want to just show how much they know. And so they're just like telling you everything they know. Well, look, my army does this, my army does that. And like, who cares? Like, tell them what their stuff does, because they
Yeah.
don't know. They don't understand it. So yeah,
Yeah.
I have a lot of strong feelings about that, as you. See.
So tell me,
Yeah.
so tell everybody in chat, how is it that you got involved with being a Warhammer hero? Like, what sort of work had you been doing that led to you being awarded that awesome, like,
Um,
community-driven
yeah,
and
yeah. Well,
award?
the cool thing about the Warhammer Hero thing, and I really hope they bring it back. I think during COVID, like it just wasn't really viable to do. So I hope that is something that they bring back because they do have a wall at Warhammer World that has plaques on it that have our names, and there's still a lot of space on that wall. So I think they should get back to filling that up. But it is all voted on by your peers. Basically, like just people can go and nominate you whenever they put the call out for nominations. So I was nominated by a handful of people, and basically whenever they called for the nominations, like a couple of people messaged me, was like, "Hey, I hope you don't mind, but I put your name for this." And I'm like, "Oh, okay, cool, thanks." Like, and at the time I was mostly active on Twitter. I'm still on Twitter, but not quite as active as I used to be. And I was doing a project called Rainbow Warriors Project, which basically we organized a bunch of different hobbyists and gamers and painters, and we built this really big Rainbow Warriors army. And the idea there was to promote inclusion, diversity, in gaming, because like we need to see a lot more of that, obviously.
Yeah.
And as a brown man living in America, this kind of thing is very, very important to me to feel like welcome in different places and stuff like that, because I haven't always felt that way in my life, so I wanted to do something that kind of like promoted that.
Yeah.
And so we built the army. We put it all together. There was a organization called Contessa, which unfortunately I don't think they exist anymore. And their whole thing was getting marginalized people to have safe spaces in gaming
Yeah.
communities. And so they would actually do like this thing called a convention inside a convention. They would go to conventions, but they would have their own area, which was specifically for their people and people that wanted to like be able to game without having to feel like worried or threatened or someone looking at them weird or whatever.
Yeah.
So we built the army and we basically gifted it to them. Said you can do whatever you want with it. You can auction it off. You can keep it. You can play with it. I was like, whatever you want to do. And I actually ended up developing a really good relationship with them. And I used to go to a lot of conventions with them, and I would set the army up. And it was basically like people would come and look at it and be like, oh, what's this all about? And that was kind of like our gateway into discussing like what we were doing with it, what the goal was.
Yeah.
Warhammer itself is, traditionally somewhat male dominated, would you say? And we're trying
Somewhat
to.
male dominated.
I'm trying to be diplomatic
Understatement
here.
of the year.
I'm trying to be diplomatic here, baby. So it's very much, like what can we do to sort of like show that everybody is welcome in the hobby, and that is something I truly believe in. I think a lot of people say it, but I don't think a lot of people live it. And I'm very much like, don't talk about it, be about it. So like, I went with them to a bunch of conventions and was like, here's what we're trying to do. Let's talk about it. Let's get more people involved. Let's get everybody involved. Let's get people playing this game. So that was one of the things. And then I was doing like charity tournaments and stuff like that. I run charity tournaments still and do things just to raise money. My favorite charity is this one that we collect college books that are used and we send them to schools in Africa because they don't have
Ooh.
access to the same books as readily as we do. And the books are still great. Like they'll rewrite a book and it'll change
Like every
two or
2
three
years or
sentences.
whatever, and it'll literally
Yeah,
change like a full stop
it's
from one paragraph to another or
nothing.
something.
Yeah, it's nothing.
Ridiculous. Is
So
what it is.
the books are still great, So we collect all of them and we send them over there. So I was doing that, just like collecting a crap ton of books and just things like that. Just being like generally trying to be like positive and welcoming. And that's it, man. That's all you gotta do. All you gotta
It's
do.
fantastic. That's some great
You
work.
should be doing that anyway.
Yeah, of course. But it was nice to have folks that sort of like show that initiative. You know what I mean, and kind of like
Yeah.
lead the way in that sort of thing. Because after all, we're all human. You know what I mean, and that's I think the biggest thing is we're all
Yeah.
on this big planet we call Earth, and we're all stuck on it. And as time goes, the planet becomes smaller and smaller, or at least it feels like it becomes smaller and smaller.
Yeah. Well, it's just because we have too many people now.
Sure.
Too many people. Thanos was right.
Thanos was right. Oh no, you're a Thanos believer. Oh no. No.
Just saying.
Yeah, no,
That's
it's
a terrible idea.
It's
Where I live, there's like not that many people. So whenever I go to a city, I'm like, why is there so many
my
people?
gosh,
Yeah,
Kat,
like
why
blows
are
your mind.
why are
Yeah,
you
like when I go
meowing so
visit
much?
when I go visit Skari, I'm like, what is this traffic? Why are there so many people
Oh
here?
man, it's just too much. I'm used to it. I mean, I live near a fairly large city, so anytime I go downtown city, it's just enough to
Oh, these two kitties are very cute, but I want them to just stop bouncing around like crazy and
Here you
meowing
go.
like
Check out
crazy.
my hot pink and baby blue.
Oh, I love
Uh,
it.
It's gonna be sick.
Okay, it's very hard to paint with
yeah,
cats running around all over
it's
the
it's
place.
like it's very much like a quasi gender reveal paint scheme, but whatever.
And just like a normal gender reveal, it'll burn the place down.
It'll burn
You know
everything
what?
down.
When I saw your
Ah.
colors, I was like, oh, this is like these are like the transgender colors. I was like, that's so nice of you. But now
Ah.
you're like,
Yeah,
it's
yeah,
gender reveal. I'm like, oh,
yeah. I don't
okay.
know. I guess I didn't even think about that.
Yeah.
That's cool too.
This is Sammy.
I'm more of like a let's just paint them really bright. Like for me, like Eldar need to be like bright colored.
hmm
So
I think
I don't know.
everything needs to be bright colors.
I think a lot of things would do better bright colored, but I'm doing oil wash on all these guys, so like it brings it down and like kind of makes it a little bit grittier. I just really like oil wash.
Do you know what's really nice about Age of Sigmar? There's like no like this is the color that you paint them. You
Yeah,
just paint them whatever you want, and that's
yeah.
awesome.
Yeah.
Well, don't
You don't have to.
like Stormcast have like storm hosts that have like specific colors and things like
I
that. So
don't think they do have specific
I
colors.
thought there was
They
like a
they do
chamber or
have. Oh
something.
no! Cat attack! No, no, kitty. You go down here. Like certain storm hosts have certain color schemes, kind of like Space Marines do.
Yeah. Like kind of like the
So
chapter
that
colors.
sort of thing. So that in like the storm hosts and whatnot, they do some things like I don't know, Daughters of Cain. They have like specific cults. They all have like a specific color scheme as well a lot of the time, but it's less the color scheme and it's usually more about unit composition, if that makes sense. Like these
Sure. Yeah.
armies will
How they
have more of
fight.
this or
Yeah.
yeah. So I feel like
So
in
what you're saying is that I'm completely wrong.
no, I was getting
Not
to my point,
Okay.
which is
Okay.
no,
I
but that's
feel
what I'm
in
saying.
in Age of Sigmar, the paint scheme isn't as like a thing that people keep you with. Is what I'm trying to say. However, there are like pictures of like these guys, like this is a storm host or whatever, and they've got like white armor and like blue trim or whatever. But like it's not something that people really give a crap about in Age of Sigmar, like at all. Whereas
Mhm.
in like in 40k, people be like, "Oh, those are Ultramarines. What? Playing them as Blood Angels? Warrior, but they're Ultramarines."
I have
You know?
never painted a Space Marine army by the prescribed colors of a certain chapter because I just find that like really boring, and I don't want to
Same.
offend anybody, but I just think that's like, man, you have like all this infinite things you can do with these models, and then you're like, I'm gonna paint them like on the box. It just seems kind of like a wasted opportunity to me.
Yeah.
That's just me. That's just me rambling, though.
I think if you're like super attached to the lore, like then
Hmm.
it makes sense to do that. Like
Yeah.
there's like a certain company that you think is just like amazing.
Yeah. That makes
Yeah.
sense. I
But
get that.
that's not me. I like to
Hmm.
paint stuff the way that I like to paint it.
Yeah.
So,
That's
yeah.
the whole fun for me. That's always been the fun of the hobby. Is just like making up my own thing, and then just
Mhm.
like every model, every Space Marine I usually get is like, I'm just gonna paint this completely different because I don't want it to be the boring this or the boring that. But to me, it's boring.
Yeah.
Which your mileage may vary.
When I started the game, I painted what was on the box. Like back when I started the game, because I didn't know any better. I literally did not know any better. Nobody told me
Yeah,
I
you're
could
like, oh,
paint them
I
however I
have to
wanted
do
them
it.
to.
Yeah, I have to
You know
do
what
it
I mean?
like this.
Yeah, nobody
That's
told me I could
wild.
literally do whatever I wanted to, right? That's how they were on the box. And that's how I wanted to paint them. So my Black Templars became Black Templars. And over the years, now I've acknowledged the fact that I should have painted my Space Marines however the F I wanted. So I could run them
Yeah.
as Black Templars if I wanted, or I could run them as Ultramarines if I, like,
Yeah,
but
yeah,
nobody
yeah. You
tells
can
you
change up.
that. You know?
I think that's a common question that I get at the store too. Like when people are playing, I had a kid come by yesterday. It was really cool because he came in with his dad. This kid's like 12, and he's walking around. Him and his dad are looking playing because it was open play night. And there's like, oh, we had a good crowd too. And so he was walking out, and I guess he asked my buddy, the guy that he's a manager, they were like, where he can learn more about 40K. And so he walked in. My buddy walked him over there with his dad, and he's like, "Hey, this is Dan." He's like, "Dan will tell you anything you want to know. He'll ask you questions." He's like, he was a little shy. He didn't want to bother anybody. Oh, look, man, like we're all huge nerds here, and if you want to talk about Warhammer, anyone in here will talk to you about Warhammer like forever. Like we will talk your head off. So it's never a problem to ask. And that was one of his things he asked. He's like, can I paint it however I want, or do I have to paint it like this because it seems really hard to paint? And I was like, man, you can do whatever you want. It's your fantasy world, So it's just fun to be able to like tell people, give them that sort of access to the game, or that kind of changes like people thought, like, oh, you mean I can just do my own thing? Like I have an idea and I can actually do that, and it's not affect how the game plays. That's a great light bulb moment.
Yeah, which is fantastic. I like it. Like, for example, Tanya, I love that you're like, that when you paint your stuff, you're like, I'm just going to paint it how I want to paint it. And then you're like, I have a concept, and that's how you paint your stuff. You're like, I have a cool concept I want to try, or some color combination I want to do, or, and I was like, and I love that. I wish I had, I feel like I don't have enough of a forethought to kind of look at it fully done after it's done, if that makes sense. And a lot of my painting decisions when I was younger were A, what's on the box, and B, what paints do I have available. And that was literally how I made my decisions. I was like, I have green, I have bronze, and I have brown. Okay, let's make this army green, bronze, and brown, because that's the only armies, and that's kind of how I painted my Dark Eldar originally.
Actually sounds like a pretty cool scheme.
Or gray. Gray, bronze, brown, like an off brown.
Yeah, I feel like I find inspiration in other places too. Like I was out for a walk, just like out for a hike, and there was this rock that had like lichen colonies on it, and one was like seafoam green, and then the other one was this like burnt red, and I was like, that is the coolest color combination that I've ever seen in my life. So I painted my custodians like that.
Nice.
I actually held that color scheme for a really long time because I wasn't starting any like new projects or anything, but it just like never left my brain, and I was like, I really want to paint something like that. So that's how that came to be.
And then you found the opportunity to do it. And I think that's very much like an artist type thing, where you're always sort of keeping your eye open for something that's inspiring. Like you'll see something that other people won't. You'll be staring at a rock with lichen on it. People are like, why are you staring at that rock? And you're just like, it's amazing.
Because I
I take pictures. Yeah, like and subscribe. So
yes,
I take pictures.
Yes,
like I take pictures of
that's right. Bring it
of like rust and stuff all the time. When I see rust out in the world, I'm like, oh, rust, cool. And you get a reference pic, and people are like, why are you taking pictures of rust? In case I need to like try to paint some rust later, I can look at this.
Yeah. It's like very unique, the formations of the...
It's a good rust. Oh, that's a good rust, I would say.
It's like people who take pictures of their food. I guess we will never understand that.
I do that all the time.
Oh, yeah. I sometimes do, but I've done it like very rarely over my 35-year life.
I always post stories on Instagram of like, if I'm eating somewhere and I'm like just happy and excited about it, I'm like, check out this good food I'm eating, because I don't know if I'm a foodie or just like someone that likes to eat, because I eat hot garbage too. I literally had some I had some Eggo waffle flavored Pop-Tarts before I got on stream here, and I gotta tell you, they were the bomb. They were fucking good. Just delicious.
Anything with sugar in it's usually pretty good. Okay, Dan. Like
I love sugar. I love it.
I know. It's so bad for you, but we love it.
It's the worst thing you can put in your body. I mean, not the worst thing. Maybe like a cucumber or banana, but like sugar.
Fruit, yeah. Fruit and vegetables. Get out of here. Xanthiad, going back to the chat real quick. We've got Caddy Liz says hello all. Awesome. Luna says working on the Rangers from the Eldritch Omens box. Nice. I really like the new range. Hail Hydra says the problem with studying the human brain is you'll always be
That's for you.
taking your work home with you. It's true.
That's for you, Tanya.
I thought my job picks would be either a teacher, chef, or baker, says Antiades. Daniel says cat. That's right.
Cat.
Bubblegum Avatar.
Correct.
Love it.
Good work.
Yep.
Identified the cat.
Its catchphrase is double bubble. Then it
How-
hits you with its sword.
Nice.
Time to
how
chew
is,
you and spit you out.
How is Facebook doing for you as far as a medium for your live streams?
I haven't really been doing anything for Facebook live streams at all.
I'm sorry, not Facebook. YouTube. Gosh.
It's actually been better for me. I like it more. I think
Yeah.
like I need to set up the Nightbot, but I love the fact that all the episodes that we've done so far this season have been saved. They've been saved. They have their thumbnail. They have their own little playlist, so people can go back and watch any of the shows that we've done so far. This being episode 12, and technically 11 because one episode was in the warp because I had COVID. But other than that, it has been fantastic. So it's been good, and slowly but surely it will grow. But I feel like the growth will be more consistent than when it was on Twitch. I just have this feeling it's just going to work better. Yeah. Like, Twitch is fun, but I'm not in a bathtub, and I'm not covering myself in gravy or, like, licking a microphone.
Not yet.
So, like...
But you could be. I'm glad that Tanya and I had the same thought. Whoa. Never say never, my friend.
Wait a second. Okay,
Never
that's for
say
the new
never.
YouTube channel, Dark City Only. Okay.
Nice.
So
are you saying that the people that are on Twitch that are licking microphones and hanging out in the tub I'm saying
that like my target demographic is the people who watch my channel are like from like late 20s to like early 40s. You know what I mean? Like or mid 40s on average. And most of the people I notice are on Twitch are like a much younger crowd, which is really good if you want to kind of reach a younger crowd. But I haven't like tapped in like this, a paint hangout show, right? I don't know. I just feel it's just better. I don't know. Let me know in the comments.
New ground for YouTube is what you're thinking.
Let me know in the comments below. I also feel like when I went live on Twitch, I had to like promote the heck out of that video all the time, every time.
Like you have to start promoting it like days before.
Yeah.
Yeah, you got to use like the little countdown sticky things so people can like
it was just
remind
annoying
themselves.
because now like if I go live on YouTube, it's like I go live and anybody who has me as a subscriber on YouTube or whatever sees me like be live. As soon as they hit the like YouTube app or whatever, it's like boop, and then they just pop in and then it's saved. And then
I like
Twitch
on
do all that, though,
YouTube.
too?
Well, Twitch doesn't really save it, and it only saves it for a limited amount of time unless you're like
but you can port it over if you
but that's like extra work for me. Like
it's one button.
One
button that you press.
No.
What I like personally is if you schedule your stream in advance, and then you can customize your front screen, like your home screen on your page, and then it'll actually show up upcoming live stream.
And
you can have that. You could have that like weeks in advance.
And they post a reminder or whatever, and then they can like
you can like hit a little button for a reminder. It's got like the thumbnail and stuff. I just for me as somebody who's so busy, it's just a lot easier to like promote it, get everything ready in advance. It just yeah.
Well, that makes sense.
I like it. I like it.
I'm glad
you guys like it.
Well, you know what? I have actually been thinking, because I do like Twitch as a platform. So I've been thinking of doing like different things on Twitch, mainly video game stuff. Like I kind of want to play like Minecraft or just do like streams that have nothing to do with 40K and just jump in as like a Minecraft streamer or whatever on Twitch and just do something different. And then kind of build an audience for like a completely different thing on there, which I think would be really fun.
We've been
or
talking
like
about
Civilization
doing
or something.
Too.
Civilization.
We've been talking about diversifying our what we do on the channel. Like Andrew wants to play some games. I want to live stream some actual 40K Like every
Nice.
once in a while, I'll have like an actual game. I'm setting it up like I have like another camera and all the cables and stuff. I'm working with audio.
Yeah.
But just like live stream a game where Andrew will be there, like basically commentating the game while I play with somebody here locally, and I think that'd be a lot of fun. So we have ideas of different things we want to do. It's not just the speed paint, but the speed paint's always going to be like the core of it.
Yeah.
That's always going to be the main thing that we do.
Well, that's
Yeah,
awesome.
it's
I
exciting.
do
It's exciting
like
to think
it.
about.
Yeah, I'm a big fan of like, and as content creators, we're always trying to like adapt and innovate and try different things.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like it's
Find
always
the
something.
thing that works for you. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So Daniel Wellington in the chat says, I only popped in here because I was already on YouTube browsing random videos just to prove your point, Skari.
Nice.
Oh.
Yeah, and just
Okay.
browsing, and then it pops up, and you're like, oh, cool, Skari's live or whatever. Let's see what he's doing. You know. And I feel like, anyway, so that's why. But I feel like this has been fun to just have like another big thing is we've done the seasons. So this is season 3 of Just Put Paint on It.
Yeah.
And so it's going to be like 32 episodes. We'll have a set number of guests, 30-some guests, and it's like a little bit more organized in that sense where like for each season we can like organize so many guests on so many days, and then we can like plan holidays around it or like actual lives because
cool.
COVID is coming, is starting to wind down in like it's not like it was where we were stuck at home every day, all day, which is why we did the stream every day, right? Back in the day.
Yeah, that was awesome.
Mm-hmm.
Just growing, changing, adapting.
That's right. Just put paint on it. That's
right.
That's legitimately the only thing we can tell you to do here. Just put paint on it.
On it.
Correct.
And it isn't even defined.
Nope.
That's right.
Could be literally... sexy bedroom time, baby. Could be whatever you want. Like, completely up to you.
Put paint all over both of you.
That's right. Make a canvas. It'll be a great fun time.
See, but if we were doing that as content, then we should go back over to Twitch.
We
gotta go on Twitch.
That is true. That was...
The microphones
that'd
going.
be Twitch content. I don't know. Anybody in the chat could agree to disagree with us or leave a nasty comment saying how they thought this was a family-friendly show, which is fine.
I'm being remarkably well behaved today.
I know, yeah, it's good. It's it's nice. It's nice,
I got all the weirdness out last night with the hammer
on yours with the erotica that you've been writing.
Yeah, with the Bit Hammer erotica. Yeah, it's
good. There you go. Now, do you still do the bits exchange?
Bits Havoc? No, I stopped doing that because people really stopped like participating, which is a damn shame. But I am working on doing it locally here at my store.
Okay.
To where we're just gonna I've been collecting a crap ton of bits for the store, and just kind of hey, bring your bits, and we just put them in like a giant bin. Yeah. And the guys at the store will sit there and they like clip all the bits off screws, so it's even like better. Because all my stuff's like just on screws everywhere. But like we're gonna do a 15-20 person event and just have people come in and they get like a couple of hours to build something, and then we'll do like a vote on who has like the coolest piece and all that stuff. So nice. I'm excited for that because I'm trying to port over everything I do online to like a live format because I'm really interested in like running like more like interactive events at the store. So that I want to do like a speed paint at the store as well, like a rush hour kind of situation.
Yeah.
So I'm working up to that as well. So
I need to come back on the show because I want to try slap chopping on the show in real time.
Slap chopping. Explain. What are we talking about here? I'm very
slap
confused.
chop. You haven't seen this?
I haven't either, by the way. Like I know what it is, but I don't know what it is.
Slap chopping thing because my mind is going all. So let's tell me what you got.
It's basically just like underpainting.
Okay.
But so the
what is underpainting?
Okay, well let me tell the story.
Yeah, I'll let
the honest wargamer, he was basically like telling his audience that he had finally found a way that he was getting his models done really quickly, and they just harassed him for weeks until he made a tutorial video, and it is the best tutorial video. I hate tutorial videos, by the way, okay? Like, I find them very pretentious. They're very much like online recipes where they give you like,
the whole story,
the whole backstory.
Yeah.
Yeah. So he makes this video, and it is the least pretentious video. It is so sarcastic and sassy, but like hidden. But it's still super accessible to new painters. And basically, what it is he primes black, and then he does 2 dry brushes. One is like a darker gray, and then the other one is like a very light gray.
Mhm.
And then he just paints with contrast on top.
Yeah.
So that's it. It's the slap chop. It's just like underpainting,
Yeah.
and then you put like a transparent paint on top. So I want to try that. I have these not Space Marines that I had 3D printed. And I want to try slap chopping them, but I want to try it with metallics and contrast paint.
Nice.
Well,
Yeah.
so he made a video for that, huh?
It's the best video ever.
All I
You
remember
will
is his
giggle.
hand
I'm
doing this a lot.
gonna sound pretentious as shit now, but like I've already been doing that. Like I know a lot of people that
Yeah.
have already been doing
Yeah.
that. So he's
But
the one that made the
it,
video.
yeah, so it's well, this is new. This is like a new video. And whenever anybody comments on the video like, hasn't this been around forever? He's like, yes, it has.
But no one made the video.
I think people have made videos about it before, but he just made it because his like subscribers were like, "Can you make a video?" So he
Explain what
made
you're
the
doing.
video. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's hilarious.
I don't get
I
people that don't like contrast. Like contrast is really like a cool
I, I've never
tool.
used contrast before, so this would be like my first time trying
Really?
to use contrast.
Oh
Yeah.
man. It is like when it came out, it was like, oh man, I can do so many things with this. And, like not just like what it's made for, but like so many
Contrast
So
different
paints are
applications.
quite good.
Yeah, I think they're awesome.
Especially, you know, from the perspective of me trying to paint with my like 8-year-old, right?
Yeah.
Like the fact that he painted a whole Sylvaneth army using contrast paints, like literally by himself, being 7. You know what I mean?
I
Like, it's
just
amazing.
feel like for me, I have developed a style of painting that I really enjoy. And I like to prime black because if there's any parts of the model that I can't get a brush into, doesn't matter, it's
see it.
black,
Yeah.
it's a shadow, it's
You
fine,
can't see
right?
it. Don't worry about it.
Exactly. So if I prime white, which when I was painting a little bit of Slanesh stuff, I primed it white. I have a really hard time getting the brush into the little places, and so
Yeah.
that's
Getting it
why
in there.
I'm like a little bit trepidatious when it
Right.
comes
That's a
to
big word.
wanting to try contrast,
Yes.
just because I'm lazy. And you
Mhm.
also do have to paint carefully, right? Like I don't paint carefully.
It's
I paint like progressively more careful as I
Mhm.
go up the layers.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
It's
But
not
like
bad. Like if you get it outside of where it's supposed to go, it actually cleans up pretty quickly if you can catch it with your brush, like just a
Right.
little bit wet brush, sort of like suck it off of there with the tip of the brush. So it's not too bad. It's not too bad.
yeah. Yeah. So that's like why I haven't, but I mean, slap chop you prime it black. So
Nice.
Just go
Yep.
for it. Yeah.
you
Yeah.
just
Yeah.
go
Yeah.
for it. Yeah.
So here's some questions in the chat. Norn Queen Kaya says, "Wait, did you stop doing the bits exchange?" I did stop doing that probably like last year. And what I was doing is like I was giving everybody a month to do the conversion to build everything, and then I would post all these pictures. I would set up like this poll, and people were supposed to vote. And the first time I did it, I had like 300, 400 votes, and then the second time it was like 200 votes, and then toward the end it was like 12 votes. And I'm like, no one is voting, no one is paying attention. I was sending my own bits and sending it with my own money, and I was just like, you know what? I like doing this stuff, but it's just too expensive for me to keep doing it. No one's gonna like, be involved in it, so like I stopped.
Yeah.
Strength Hammer, damn the War Hero run. Strength Hammer's back. Strength Hammer was hanging out last night on the stream, giving Fit Hammer a hard time. That's awesome. Ken confirms Slap Chop works. My buddy did 2,000 points of armies in 6 hours. Says Nicholson.
Wow.
Dang.
That's
awesome.
nuts.
I love quickly painted armies. I love painting armies as opposed to painting miniatures. That's what I tell people all the time. I'm not a miniature painter. I'm an army. I paint armies. I still have the demon bits you sent and made chaos spawn out of it. Excellent. I'm glad they got some life, some further life. Mass painting Gaunts. Yeah, that's got to be good for that. I still need to try the Valley Joe paints, says Hill Hydra. Vallejo, I'm sure. Gonna claim sponge shop. Apply the dry brush layers of the sponge. Oh, I do stuff with sponge all the time. I love sponge. That's like one of my favorite things to do. Contrast
Um,
is literally magic.
I feel like you're going to be so proud of me, Dan, because I have.
I'm already proud of you.
Aww.
Boom.
Well, I love you too, buddy.
Aw.
But I bought a secondhand Nighthaunt army,
Oh, cool.
and I think I'm going to be able to paint it super fast. Like my
Mm.
first model that I did, if I didn't like mess up the colors the first time, then I
Mhm.
had to repaint it because it's the first model, getting
Yeah.
my paint scheme right.
Yeah.
If I didn't do that, I think I could paint a character in about an hour and a half, which for me
Oh,
is
that's
like
quick. Yeah, no, that's fast.
amazing.
For a character mini,
And
yeah, that's fast.
right, so what I did is I Zenithal primed it, but instead of white, I did red on the top because that's like the color
Ooh.
of their like spooky sheets.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
And then I just like blended out the transitions a little bit between the black and the red and did highlights, and it was like done. And I was like,
Amazing.
That's awesome. I love that.
okay,
I
yeah.
love that.
I love it
And I will
when.
say this, yeah.
Go ahead.
Oh, no, I'm gonna say this until I die and die on the hill, whatever you want to call it. Like, I want people to not beat themselves up about how well something is painted. Like, you should keep working and you should improve, yes. But like, if you're getting to the point where you're not finishing things because you're so stressed out about your own quality of work, that's like my whole thing. Don't just you got to paint, you got to enjoy what you're doing, and if that means you're painting something messy and finishing it and just having it done and on the table for me is like awesome. That's cool. But like people are like, oh, I haven't finished painting my army because they're trying to paint every mini to like this super high standard. And it's like you're stressing yourself out unnecessarily, and I get that. And if that's what you want to do, cool. But whenever I see people that are like unhappy about it, it like makes me so sad. Like, oh, I can't paint. And these guys don't look good. I'm like, dude, as long as it's got paint on it, that's great. Just keep going, but
You know
don't
what
beat
I
yourself up. Yeah.
do? You know what I tell people?
What's that?
I tell people like lean into your mistakes.
Yeah,
Quote
absolutely.
mistakes,
Oh
right?
yeah.
So like if you did something that like if you were trying to emulate somebody else's work or the box art or something like that, and you did something that was sort of like off brand, maybe explore that mistake a little bit. See if you can incorporate the quote mistake into your own work to make it something unique, right? Like I think sometimes we don't look at it like it's a creative process. And a lot of times artists they use their mistakes in a creative way. It doesn't have to be something negative. It could be something that you develop into your own style. And no matter what anybody says, there is something really cool about being able to like look at an army or look at a model and know
Know who
exactly
painted it.
who painted it. I think
I
that is so
love that.
cool. Right? Like I can look at a Sam Lenz miniature and be like, "Oh, that's Sam Lenz," right?
Right.
Like he's just got a style all of his own, and I absolutely love that.
Yeah, I think that's great because that means you're like comfortable with your stuff and happy with what you do, so you can keep doing that same process.
Yeah.
And I think that's
It's
really cool.
it's freeing too. It leaves it so you can explore different things, right?
Absolutely.
And the only way you
Absolutely.
can do that is by just putting paint
Watching
on
the
it.
stream.
That yeah, by liking, commenting, and subscribing, and making sure to turn on the notification bell.
Bing.
Like and subscribe.
Like and subscribe.
Yuck, 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 yuck.
Yuck. Now, just
Be
put
here
paint
all
on
week.
it, folks. Just put paint on it. Anybody who's watching,
Yeah.
thanks a lot for coming, hanging out with us today and asking all these questions.
Yeah.
It's always awesome to have chat interaction in these live streams. I've been having a lot of fun just painting and hanging out and chatting with some awesome people doing these streams. It's just so fun. I just decided to go ahead and do a soft tone quick shade wash from the Army Painter.
Ooh, soft tone quick shade.
Yeah, soft tone quick shade is probably one of my favorites to do like full model. When I'm trying to get stuff done quickly, I'll do like
Do
a
the whole
full
thing.
shade, right? So it's like all the colors, do that, then I can highlight the colors and it kind of all blends together quite nicely.
Love it.
But these grotesques, like I'm just getting them done quick because I just want to have them to play with them on a table. So I'm not trying to like be super fancy with them. Perfection is the enemy, says Daniel. Done is better than half perfect, half bare plastic. And that's why we say, Just put paint on it. Honestly, that's the
Put
whole
paint on it.
philosophy of the show and these
That's the
seasons that we've
whole
been doing.
thing
Is like a lot of people get that sort of stage fright almost when they're painting an army or they have a big model that they want to work on, and it's like I feel nervous getting this painted and whatnot. Honestly, just put paint on it. I'm serious. Just try it out.
Yeah.
Try,
You just start. Yeah,
I
just
start like I have my Riva jet bikes that I need to paint. I'm looking at them going, I need to paint them, and you know what I'm gonna do? I'm going to go prime them, and then I'm gonna put paint on them, and that's literally how that's gonna work. Good morning, Kyle from Gear Guts Mech Shop, the war boss himself, joining us in chat. How's it going? Nice to see you. Thank you very much for coming to say hi, Kyle. But that's like the key, and I did forget a color. So I'm gonna have to go find that color downstairs to do the rest of my
Gotta go
stuff.
find it.
But right now it's gonna be perfect because I'll do the wash here, and then all three of them will be washed, which means I can now play with them and they look half decent on the table.
Yeah.
And then I don't have to worry too much about it. And then then I can start working on my other stuffs that I need to get worked on. That's right.
So there's a guy in my local area who was like, "Oh, I need to paint my models like perfectly," and we're like, "Well, you don't have to." But then my regular parring partner was like, "Does that mean he's just never gonna paint them?"
I'm just gonna stop you for 2 seconds there, Tanya, because you just said parring partner, and I think that's fantastic.
Sparring partner?
You said parring partner.
Did I? Oh.
Yeah, you did.
The parring partner.
Well,
parring partner. I was like,
I'm gonna sit here and I'm gonna drink more coffee then.
Yeah, you might need a little bit more coffee.
Yeah, I'm just gonna mute this.
There you go. And
I got a cool hot pink drink.
ASMR here. I'm not going to be drinking because I'm not going to be a part of the group here. I'm just going to wait until I
do your own thing. You're
later.
your own person. You're your own person. I like that.
I love that it's brass knuckle cups. That you could literally like grab your cup and like
just knock someone out with it.
That's right. Brass knuckle someone with it. Be like, bam! Amazing. That's the one way you can keep brass knuckles legal. Have them attached to your mug. And then walk around with it.
It's ceramic. You're not actually gonna punch anybody with this.
What if the brass knuckles were actually brass knuckles and then just glued onto a ceramic cup? Nobody would know the difference.
Nobody would know.
And then you could walk around and be like,
"Don't
mess with me. I haven't had my coffee yet."
Then you could smash the mug this way, and then it just turns into brass knuckles.
Correct.
Amazing.
Right? It's like an instant, weaponry incorporated.
This is the coolest gift I ever got for being a pickup skater for a traveling team.
Nice.
I just said that's like the most roller derby mug ever.
That is definitely a roller derby mug for sure.
Yeah.
So,
it is.
Yeah. Kyle says, doing well, just working while you guys chat. Nice. Perfection isn't human. It's our imperfections that define us. To seek perfection perpetually just leads to mental strain and stress. I would agree with that statement. I think, though, that it's important to want to get better. Like, it's important to want to improve, but it's also impossible to, like, be perfect.
Yeah, it's like when you're improving, but, like, you can improve and not beat yourself up about how you're not where you want to be yet.
Correct.
That's the thing.
That's the hardest part, is literally, like...
Don't beat yourself up.
It's like being a content
creator. Don't tell me what to do, Dan!
I will tell you, and everybody else, what to
do! Dan?
You will listen.
Do we need to get you a little soapbox? Okay, can we?
I have
one. You do?
Grab it.
Amazing. Go get it.
I'm very short.
I was gonna make a joke about you being short.
You're gonna go with short joke. We're like probably the same height, Tanya.
I am 5'5.5".
So you are taller than me by a half.
Don't
That's not the
forget
first time
your
I've
medal.
said that.
Don't forget your medal.
That's right.
When you step up on your soapbox.
I am Dan, a veritable Warhammer hero.
The medal adds like another 5 inches to my height. It's like people see oh, that guy's important.
It takes away your height, but increases your stature, right? Because it's heavy enough to pull you down a little bit.
It's pretty heavy.
Yeah.
Made of some sort of high.
Don't beat myself up, but I'm totally asking for it, says Farseer Chibi. Well, it's like, for example, as a content creator, I've been doing videos for 10 years now. I want to say I've had I'm coming up on my 1,000th YouTube video,
Oh
which
man,
is
that's a milestone.
which
Look
is
at
like a
that.
milestone, right? Like I'm at
Yeah.
995 videos or whatever, and I'm thinking
Man.
kind of like what I should do for like the 1,000th video, and I feel like I want to do something fun for it. You know what I mean? But then you see like
celebrate.
correct, but then you see like YouTubers that get on YouTube like in January, and then like by the summer they're like 2 times the amount of subscribers I have, and I'm like,
blowing up.
I wish I was that successful. Sometimes my brain tells me,
Yeah.
you know, in terms of that
Yeah.
whole seeking perfection thing. But at the same time,
but
Yeah,
I
the
feel
same
like
comparing
you
yourself
need.
to others. Yeah.
I think you sometimes need to look at what they had to do that, and you need to look at your values.
no, I
And
understand. I understand. Like, but that's right. That's what I'm trying to get at is, like I'm never going to, like I do what I do because I want to do what I do, and I'm always trying to improve myself. But I can't compare myself to other people, or else I would always be unhappy.
Yeah.
Right.
That's the hard part. Not
correct.
comparing yourself to others is so difficult.
And that translates not just from
Yeah.
painting, but like anything that we do, like
Yeah.
from a hobby level, a professional level. Like you have to, like, you have to just be you, right? And like, and that's
Just
the
chill
hardest
the
part
fuck
is
out.
like
Ew.
accept you. Okay, you are you. So there.
I
Did
don't
you
want
say
to be
ew?
me.
Did you say ew or you? Oh.
Ew,
Ew.
you.
Oh,
They're-
stop. Stop it.
But
It's
I'd
very
much
similar
rather be
concepts.
somebody else.
Oh, but we like
Batman's way
you.
cooler.
Batman's
Batman
way
is
cool.
pretty cool.
I love
But
the
his parents
analogy.
are
Okay,
dead.
we talked about this yesterday when we were talking to Voldemort, and he's saying how someone who has like a car or whatever, and they're like, I don't have a nice car or whatnot, right? Because but for their uses or whatever, they don't appreciate their car until they don't have a car or whatever, and then they like appreciate the car that they had, right?
Yeah.
But it's the same thing. It's like person in a car goes, "Ooh, I want that fancy sports car," while he drives down the street, and person on a bicycle says, "I wish I had a car." And like person, walking down the streets, these guys on bicycle be like, "Man, I wish I had a bicycle."
Yeah.
And
There's
then
always somebody.
person,
There's always
yeah,
somebody that wants what you got.
correct. And then person who's like literally in a wheelchair, being like, "I wish I could walk." Like you have to.
Literally,
It's like a
yeah.
perspective thing. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
it's
I
just
just
important.
in this community, I think it's also like tougher because I mean any like social media, online, niche micro inner influencers, celebrities, whatever you want to call them, because there's so many of them, and it's like it can be difficult to stand up because there's so many people trying to do the same thing.
Yeah.
So like you might not be big like overall, but maybe if you found like your own space and your own like way to express yourself, like that's an important metric I think people miss out on. Like there's way more ways to measure success than by what somebody else is achieving.
Yeah.
I stand
Exactly.
by that. I stand by that.
That's
We
right.
try to stand by that.
I love how we get into the philosophical stuff, It's like
We do.
chat about a whole bunch of stuff. That's why Just Put Paint On It is so much fun. We put paint on
Right.
stuff, we talk, we discuss things that, are important in just life in general. And
you
hopefully
invite Dan, you're ready for some poop and fart jokes, and you get existentialism,
there you go.
and maybe even some good advice. So
There you go.
jokes on you guys.
Jokes on all of you. That's what you
Jokes
expected.
on you all.
Yeah.
Not what you expected. I'm trying to
Um,
behave.
It's good.
Why?
It's good.
I only
Because-
made
No,
one
it's
because
not.
I
only
finger
made one
wagged him.
penetration joke.
Yeah,
I
we
only
did.
made the one penetration joke. And
Now
then,
it's 2. Excellent.
Now it's 2.
So
and now we're penetrating your mind with knowledge.
That's right. You will now get knowledgeable knowledge. Well, other than that, like it's been like, do you have any other than are you just kind of currently working mainly on that Eldar stuff, like and the whole like get a whole army painted? Are you going to really be working on that?
That's the thing. We'll see what happens when the Chaos Space Marine Codex comes out. If I'm gonna like buy, like the new stuff came out, and I kind of was like, that's cool. I wasn't like, oh my god, I need to have that, which I haven't had that feeling in a while for Chaos stuff.
Right.
So that's kind of sad. But this Eldar stuff's really like doing it for me right now. It's just a lot of fun to paint, and I've just been painting a lot of Space Marines, and of course I did my Thousand Suns armies like a couple of months ago, and it's been running that consistently, and all that's all painted. So like I wanted something different and new. So this is doing it for me. This is hooking it up.
I love it. I do appreciate
Yeah.
all of you as well out there who are following along with our amazing thought
Yeah.
processes.
Yeah.
Kaya says, interview chats are simply a very hard type of content creation to push numbers-wise. As you said,
Yeah.
don't compare and just do what you enjoy. You know, it's really funny,
Yeah.
like, to be honest, I had like this, over the last, I want to say, 6 to 8 months, in terms of battle report creation and doing like content and stuff, it has been a little hard to be a Dark Eldar player, because everybody wanted to play Dark Eldar for a long time. And a lot of the
Yeah.
time, like, for the longest time, I was like the only Dark Eldar player, which made it a lot easier to stand out.
You're the
And
guy.
but now, so I was doing bat reps and doing stuff, but now I find like I've refound my passion to film battle reports, and like I've recently filmed the battle report went up yesterday against Chaos Knights, and the style that I've been doing in it lately is a very much my standard short form, very explaining everything style bat rep, like the teaching bat
Yeah.
reps, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And the amount of comments I've gotten on that video being like, I'm a new player, this is fantastic, thank you so much. I'm like, okay, like it's back, like I
That's
remember
awesome.
like why I
Yeah.
enjoyed doing that stuff, because it was like explaining, and it's kind of like rekindled that style that I really enjoy doing. And I'm like, you know what, that's it. I feel like that was like my niche to begin with, and I just enjoy doing it. I'm good at it, so I just want to keep on doing that as well. So
Yeah.
yeah.
I like battle report videos. I was doing some there for a while too, but it's very labor intensive, as you know, in general. And God, it's just like I don't have time to keep doing these, and yeah, no one was watching them anyway. Talk about having a saturated market. Like when I was
Mm-hmm.
little, like there was I mean, there's still a lot, but
Yeah.
mine never really picked up. So, yeah, let's do
Girgus
something
Makeup
else.
actually said, I did a joke about Baby Shark that you didn't read. 1,000th video, the burning of the Baby Shark outfit to free yourself from that history. I don't need to free myself from that history. If anything, I would frame it and put it behind me on the wall to remind
Do
me
it.
of the sexy Baby Shark, which is like
Ugh.
the culmination of the Baby Shark saga. Which, for anybody who doesn't
That was a
know,
that was a good
it
that
was
was a good
good.
moment
It
in
was
time.
good, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, it was it was people could donate bits to the and I'd have to sing and dance Baby Shark. However,
It's
all of those
amazing.
videos literally got muted because it's a very, very heavily copyrighted song.
Oh yeah. That's too bad.
Yeah, you know, but you can still see me dancing around even though you won't be able to hear the audio.
I mean, I think that might even be funnier though, actually.
Yeah. Same as Twitter. 2 good engaging followers is better than 200. 100%. I much prefer
Yeah.
like a smaller community of people who are invested than a large community of people who aren't invested, right? I think that's better from a content creation perspective. This has
Right.
been great.
Absolutely.
All of you are amazing. Thank you so much for all the cool comments
Absolutely.
and stuff like that. Oh, so this weekend I'm going to a little RTT.
Ooh.
And it's
Little
the
RTT.
RTT is on Sunday, and so technically the Warp Rift book comes out on Saturday, and lists were due
Ooh.
yesterday, which means I wasn't able to
You
use
can
my
run it.
Army of Renown. And if anybody knows, I'm going to be playing a lot of Coven, which is lots and lots of board racks and stuff. So I decided to go, and I pulled out all of my Witch Cult units, and I'm taking a full Witch Cult list. It's going to be super fast, super killy, and I'm very excited. But Dan, have you ever like used? Do you go to any events and tournaments, or do you mainly play like, you know, in your
Um,
house, like Garage Hammer
I
style?
do a lot of tournaments now. I'm also running a lot of tournaments, so like fully doing the tournament guy thing.
Mm-hmm.
Actually running a tournament next weekend at my store. I'm running a series of competitive tournaments there. I'm trying
Nice.
to get people
Where
more
is it?
like.
Where is it for anybody who watches it who's like, ooh, that's
Oh,
in my wheelhouse?
I am in. It's in Fairview Heights, Illinois. Fairview Heights is about 20 minutes from St. Louis, if you've heard of that place.
Yep.
So I always say St. Louis whenever I'm telling people where I'm from. But yeah, we're doing a competitive series because everyone's doing like narrative stuff. But I think there is a lot of people want to play more competitive stuff, and I want to get them prepared for doing like bigger like national scale events. So I've been running these stuff that has the same rules as all the big events, and of course we do everything with best goes pairings, blah 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 blah. And we get all the what do you call that? The ICT or ITC. Sorry, we do all the ITC rankings and stuff like
Yep.
that. And there's one in the Midwest called Lord Marshall Conference. So
Oh
we're also
yeah,
on
I know
that
the
as
Lord
well.
Marshall, the Flying Monkey guys,
So
and
yeah.
yeah,
So
yeah.
everyone's getting their like rankings and stuff tracked and all that kind of stuff. And
Nice.
like we did the player place terrain last time, so people could get an idea of like what that's about. So I'm just trying to get that feel for like a major event, but in an RTT scale, like smaller scales.
Well, that sounds cool.
Yeah. So I've been having a lot of fun with that, but I have been doing a lot of tournaments myself as well. I've been doing okay, not too shabby. Not to toot my own horn, but I'm all right. All right.
I'm glad you're having some fun with that.
Yeah, absolutely.
I've been the biggest thing I want to do though is I want to play more Crusade because I love Crusade.
Yeah.
Love
And
Crusade.
the thing I found about doing what do you call that tournaments as opposed to playing like friendly narrative games is like everybody has a different definition of what friendly is. So whenever
Sure.
I go to play a game that is quote unquote friendly, and I'm like, oh, here's my friendly list. It's a bunch of crap that sucks, but it's really fun because it's things that nobody ever takes. And then I'm playing somebody that's playing like a super competitive list. I always get like super butthurt, right? I'm always like, that's not friendly. And then I'm all upset
Yeah.
because I just got like destroyed when I thought it was supposed to be like a friendly game, and everyone was
Yeah.
going to take like less than optimized lists. So now, if you're just playing competitive, you just know that everyone's going to play and bring the most tough things they can, and so we're all on the even playing field in that regard. So I like that a lot more,
Right.
lot more.
No, it makes sense.
So, yeah.
Like as we like to say at Mini Wargaming, the rules dictate what's fun. Okay.
Okay.
I like that.
Hey, what can you do? Strength Hammer says, I love a good witch cult. 100%. And I've been loving Age of Sigmar. Like, absolutely loving Age of Sigmar. And the more I learn about Age of Sigmar, the more I'm enjoying Age of Sigmar. Like, it's just so fun. I literally have been playing against Lionel, who's from X Planet. He was on the show a couple of weeks ago. And he's a fantastic Age of Sigmar player. Like, he was on Team Canada, like WTC world class team player. And the amount of stuff I've learned by just playing someone as good as him has been incredible. And every time the games get closer and closer and like this time I'm like making him think, it's just so good. Anyway,
scaring him a little bit. Yeah.
That's right.
Get him on the ropes,
I'm coming
man.
for you, Lionel. Coming for you.
Get him on the ropes.
It's right. We'll play for keepsies next time.
I think Strength Hammer just finished his Dark Eldar, which army that I saw the other day. It looked really cool. It's got a really cool color scheme. It's like blue and purple, I think. Is that what you get? And it's like a light blue, kind of like as a color pop. Yeah, it looked really good.
Really Dark Eldar armies just look really cool when they're painted.
Yeah.
Just in general, they just look
a lot of potential.
Really cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like it a lot.
Some cool stuff.
You've been playing a lot of Age of Sigmar too, Tanya, which we do talk about.
Yes.
But you're going to be teaching someone how to play today or tomorrow?
Tomorrow, yeah. It's like a bit of a funny story. So one of the guys that plays 40K in the area was like, I have a couple friends who want to learn how to play Age of Sigmar. So I was like, okay, why don't you like start a group chat and we can talk about it. And yeah, through talking to them, I was like, I don't think they want to learn how to play Age of Sigmar. Like, I think they want to learn how to play Warhammer 40K, but they're just too nice to say anything. But I told them, I was like, I can teach you either one, right? And I've got enough models that like I can make you an army. It's no problem. And then they really wanted to play the models that they were borrowing, which they thought were orcs, and ended up being like Age of Sigmar ogres. And I was like, I'm so confused, but we're gonna play like a teaching game of Age of Sigmar tomorrow. So I think I'll be able to get like a better feel if this is like a consolation prize for them and they actually want to play 40K, or if they're like into Age of Sigmar. So
Maybe they don't understand the difference or something like that. Maybe it's like a problem with like comprehension on their
yeah,
end.
but like I explained it. I laid it out. I was like, okay, this is what Age of Sigmar is, right? These are the pros and cons, and this is what Warhammer 40K is, and these are the pros and cons.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, it's just like kind of a weird. It's just kind of weird. But we're gonna do it. We're gonna do a 500 point teaching game and like work through the different parts of the phases, and
Yeah.
we're gonna do it. It'll be
The lines are crossed somewhere.
an ogre on ogre battle.
Nice. Well, I will say that it's funny because I guess when people start off and they don't know, they just don't know, right? For us, it's like, yeah, well, this is this and this is that, and that's like I've noticed that a lot more. Like people posting pictures on like social media, being like, identify this model for me, and I'm
What
like,
the hell is this thing?
that's like an old school Imperial Assassin. You know, I'm like, oh, that's an old Imperial Assassin. And then some people in comments are like, oh, that's probably an Inquisitor. Or, like, that's this or that or whatever. And I'm like, no.
Wrong.
All of you have no idea what that model is. That is
You're all fools.
that is an old school, quote unquote, Imperial Assassin before they split them up
Wrong.
into like the different houses or whatever. And then I felt old.
You are all babies who still smell of tepid milk.
There you go. That's how I would respond to them. Be
That's
like,
usually how I
Uh,
respond.
there you go. That's literally how I would respond. Like, yeah, that's how that works. Oh, this is gonna
Good
be
for
so
you
cool
guys.
when it's done. I love it. Kaya says, prefer apocalypse games where you can play 10,000 points or narrative. Do tournaments
Ugh.
because the local game store asks, but they're meh.
Let's talk about APOC. The new APOC rules that came out a couple of years ago.
They're my favorite.
My least favorite thing ever.
They're my favorite.
Hate them so bad.
Well, they hate you, so there you go.
I'm on Tanya's side. I love them. I love them.
Most people really like
I
it.
love them.
Most people really like it.
I think
And
it's the
most
perfect
people
rule
are
set.
Wrong.
I think it's the perfect rule set to like introduce people to wargaming in general. If they've like never experienced wargaming any system whatsoever, I think that it's just a perfect way to sort of understand, well, this is how you move models. This is how you shoot. This is how you fight. Without getting bogged down with like a bunch of extra stuff, right? Like you can teach them the basics of wargaming, not the basics of Warhammer, if that makes sense.
Disagree.
Makes sense to me.
Well, you're wrong, Dan.
No, you're the one who is
No.
wrong.
You're wrong.
You come on to our show and you decide to disagree with us? How is this possible?
They just took everything that was fun to me about Apocalypse and just like condensed it down and streamlined it so much where it's just like, why even do this? Why am I going to pull out thousands and thousands of points of miniatures, set them up on the table if I'm not going to be there all night suffering through it? What's the point?
Yeah.
Well, I mean, there's nothing stopping you from playing Warhammer 40K with all your thousands and thousands of points of models.
But that's what I'm doing. That's what I end up doing. Like, because I'm working on getting a big APOC game together, but like kind of modifying the rules. The one rule that I like in the new APOC is all the saves being rolled on its own like phase.
Yeah.
So that
at the end of the
so that you don't have to remove anything until you've actually gotten to use your models at least once or whatever. Right?
Love that rule, and that will stay in. Everything else, hot garbage.
Hot garbage.
What, you don't
heard
like
it here first, folks.
You don't like the alternating activations?
Nah.
Okay.
I think with the way that the saves are, you wouldn't need the alternating activations.
You don't need it. Yeah, you don't really need it. So
Like,
I got to figure out. I think I'm just gonna put like post-it notes next to units and just write down all the saves they need to take. So like at the end, everyone's got to do.
Well, you don't have a cool set of the actual legit blast markers and have little stacks of them next to the models and units.
There you go.
That's right. You can do that, or just use it. Like you could use like M&Ms or something, or Skittles, and be like, put a little bowl next to every single unit, and then you can have this thing where put a blast marker on it, a Skittle, 2 blast markers, an M&M or something, and then at the end you have to eat them all and then save them, and then you have a
Yeah.
terrible tummy ache by the end of the day because you've had to eat lots of M&Ms.
Eat that shit.
I like that. Well, we are coming towards the end of the show, Dan. But before we finish, why don't you tell folks what your Twitter handle is, and if you have anything coming up, and where folks can find you to get some more information about Dan the Lonely Havoc.
My Twiddle handle.
Correct, your Twitter handle, and about your T-shirt exchange program, because
I haven't done that in a while.
You should, because it's awesome and I love it.
Because you were wearing my shirt the other day, and I was very excited about it. I still have your shirt. I've never thrown that one away. My name is Dan, the Lonely Havoc, on Instagram and Twitter. Former, I guess, always a Warhammer hero. Once a Warhammer hero, always a Warhammer hero. But I love Warhammer, and I'm always promoting it as much as I can. I like to run events in my local community. I still like to do a lot of things online. Right now, I'm doing a Twitch stream called Heroes Rush Hour. So if you want to go over there to Twitch and give us a follow, Heroes Rush Hour, all one word. We speed paint minis with crazy guest redemptions that make us do weird stuff that slows down our speed paint. And I'm just on Instagram posting pictures of my food and of my miniatures, and just showing you, I'm always working on something. I'm constantly working on something, whether it's for other people's games or for my own games. Just love games, man. That's like my whole deal. And if you have a shirt as part of your game club or your thing, like if you have a shirt that has you on it and you want to send me one of your shirts, I will send you one of my shirts. That's my shirt exchange guarantee. I will send you
just gonna get a shirt that has my big dumb face on it.
I would wear it. I'd wear that shit all the time. The Tanya shirt face stays on during sex. I'm sorry, you gotta deal with it.
That's funny.
Who's this face?
That and the Crocs.
I need
to come off.
Dan, I'm making a shirt.
That's what the handle or the little strap at the back of the Crocs
is
for.
I'm going to use.
So you're in sport mode, okay?
I'm going to use. I'm going to be making a T-shirt for the mini wargaming stuff that I do that says "Downvote for Skari." So I'll make sure I send you one.
Oh yes, because we now have Heroes Rush Hour as well.
That's
so
right.
I need to get you one of those.
I love it. That'd be fantastic.
Yeah, that's the thing.
Now I'll be
putting
all the links down in below. Do you have a link tree, like a full link tree, or is it
me? I don't. I should get a link tree, but the Twitch is fine. Okay, that's the main
Twitch one. Okay, so I'll make sure then folks can go and find all your fun stuff over there, because that sounds exciting, exhilarating, and definitely not PG.
I don't think my shirts will fit you, but I'll send you one. Send one if you try. Absolutely, let's do it.
I want to see that Instagram or that tweet, like you just trying to put on that shirt.
I'll do it. I will wear anyone's clothes. You heard it here first. Send me your clothes and I'll wear it.
There you go.
Okay.
That's more for the spicy times. So Tanya, before we finish up, why don't you tell us about where you're from and what do you have coming down the pipeline?
Well, I'm from Canada, and I like to paint miniatures, and I like to play games. What do I have down the pipeline? Well, next week I will be releasing another 40K Explained series of short videos. And yeah, just YouTube videos every Wednesday. That's what's coming down the can. And please don't miss this next episode of Forge the Narrative, because you will pee yourself laughing.
It's going to be exciting.
The epic levels of sass coming out of Red and Adam.
Gotta watch that.
Excellent. Well, that sounds fantastic. I am definitely looking forward. I find the irony. I totally missed that. Which means they're laughing at my expense now, folks.
No.
And I feel so left out right now.
I can't stop myself, can you?
I've been Skari. This has been Just My Paint on It. Don't forget to use the hashtag on all your social medias. If you like what you see here, which is an absolute mess, make sure you support me on Patreon. If you'd like me to do an OnlyFans, we could probably set that up too. Other than that,
we could do it all. I'll be a guest.
It's gonna be.
I'll be a guest on that.
It's gonna be.
Oh, let's do it.
Just my feet though.
It's gonna say Skari OnlyFans.
Just put paint on them.
And it's gonna be fans with scary faces on them.
Okay. No, we can do that.
Yeah,
We'll
that'd
work
be good.
something out. We'll have my people call your people. out.
Anyway,
We'll do it.
thanks a lot,
Get it
everybody.
done.
You're all amazing. And don't forget to hashtag just put paint on
Just
it.
put paint on it.
There you go. That's the spirit. Bye, everybody.
Boom.
Oh.
Bye.